Okay, I got a question. What if the pattern that you keep judging is not proof that you're broken? What if it's actually a part of you that is asking to be loved back in? Like so many of us, me, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of patterns and I'm trying to get rid of them, right? I notice I just want to get rid of the patterns, the body judgment, the perfectionism, the overthinking, the people pleasing, the avoidance, the self criticism. Yeah. The need to have all the answers. Anybody have that one? And because we're spiritual people, right? Sometimes I judge myself for still having the pattern, right? Like I should be past this by now. The idea that I've been thinking about that I want to share with you today is that the pattern is not the enemy. So I'm so grateful to welcome you to Walking the Path. I'm John Jacob Mubarak, and it's just always great to be here, and always great to be here. This talk came out of rythmia. So I want to take a moment and welcome people to come check out rythmia, because so much of what I talk about here is what happens every week at rythmia. People connecting with themselves, coming back to a state of wholeness, and seeing real power and agency in their lives. So come check us out at rythmia. Come down and see me. Now, back to loving the pattern. This idea that the pattern is not the enemy, but that the pattern is a doorway. That the patterns that we have, that we think are the things that are wrong with us, the people pleasing, the control, the perfectionism, the addiction, that they're actually doorways. And it came up for me this week really powerfully. I had a really beautiful week, a powerful week. And one of the things that became very clear this week was an old pattern. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. Thank you. Love you. This old pattern of judging my body. And I wasn't, it was like judging my body, and perfectionism was really the pattern. And I could see, that part of me was, I guess, thought that I should already be past this, and that I already know better, right? And I should be completely free of self-criticism. And so I was judging myself. I realized I wasn't just judging my body, because there was the whole like body critique, but I was judging myself for judging my body. I was judging the part of me that was judging my body. It was like judge, and I realized something deeper, that that this was a real opening for me. Right? Can I love that part? Can I love the part that criticizes? Can I include the part that thinks it has to be perfect? Instead of trying to get rid of it. Can I stop exiling the part of me that still feels afraid or exposed or not enough? I also had a beautiful, honest conversation this week. It was a really interesting week this last week. I had an honest conversation with a friend, the kind of conversation that really clears the air. It was hard and it was awkward. But when you clear the air and open the field, it reminded me that spiritually, this not only happens in meditation and prayer, but sometimes it actually happens when we, tell the truth with love. I used to have, hi, Kadia, great to see you. I used to have a choir director, Ricky Byers at Agape. And she said one time in choir, it's okay to call a thing, but you got to do it with love, So I had this hard conversation this week. And these two things, right? The pattern was avoiding hard conversations because I didn't want to rock the boat. Don't upset. Don't cause any problems. It'll be worse. But what I found was after this conversation, more intimacy, more connection, deeper brotherhood. It was amazing. So what came out of those two experiences this week that I want to share with you is that most of our patterns that we have, whether it's people pleasing or perfectionism or overthinking or avoidance or criticism, the hypercritic or hyper success, hyperindependence, whatever the pattern or patterns are, um, they generally begin as protection, right? And they may not be producing the same result now as they did before, but at some point they helped us survive. At some point they helped us belong or to avoid pain or to stay connected. So like the perfectionist in us is just trying to protect, I mean, from shame, you know? And the overthinker is trying to protect me from uncertainty. And maybe the body critic is, you know, protecting me from being or feeling exposed or unworthy or not enough. The the pattern of avoidance is trying to avoid conflict or disappointment. You know, all of these patterns had an important role of protection at some point. And the question isn't how do I get rid of the pattern? The question is, how do I understand the pattern? How do I listen to it? How do I, bring it back? I think that's the bigger question, because what we exile does not heal. Anything that we condemn or judge does not heal. What we include transforms. I love this statement. We're not here to improve ourselves. We're here to include ourselves. This is the key. Self-improvement is not exile. We're not here to improve. There's nothing to improve. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just as you are. I am perfect, whole, and complete, just as I am. There's nothing wrong, nothing broken, nothing to be fixed. We have these patterns that served a purpose. There's nothing wrong with us we don't need to judge ourselves for having the pattern, but to understand the pattern. Once I begin to understand it, I'm including it. I'm not exiling it. I'm not shaming it, which is the very thing that we don't want. I don't want to be shamed. I don't want to be excluded or rejected. We're doing to parts of ourselves the very thing that we are trying to avoid from other people. So what we exile does not heal. What we include transforms. We're not here to improve ourselves. We're here to include ourselves. And I have a really beautiful process, a simple practice that you can do when the pattern comes up. I call it the observe, feel, ask, heal process. Now, the first thing to do when a pattern comes up is to observe. Observe without judgment. Instead of saying, "Oh my God, I'm broken. I'm doing this thing again. What's wrong with me? Why can't I stop this?" Maybe say, "Oh, I'm noticing a pattern. I'm patterned. A pattern is arising." Instead of saying I'm judgmental, the Buddha part of me, the judging Buddha is here, right? There's a part of me that's judging. Okay, that part showed up. All right, judging Buddha, come on. Observation creates a space where choice becomes possible. Because when I can observe, I'm not enmeshed with the pattern. I'm observing it. And so what's one pattern that you can observe in your life right now? Just take a minute. What's one pattern? Is it people pleasing? Is it control? Is it avoidance? Is it overthinking? Is it self-criticism? Pick one. So now when that pattern comes up, you can observe it. And then the next thing is to feel. The second part is feel. Observe, feel, ask, or thank, either one, heal. So the second is to feel. Feel the feeling. It doesn't mean get lost in the emotion. It doesn't mean get, drowned in it. Just feel what may be there. Under control may be fear. Under perfectionism, there may be some shame, Under people pleasing, it could be, fear of losing love. Let yourself feel what's there. Let yourself just get in touch with the feeling in the body, What's in the body? Is it a contraction? Is it in your throat? Is it in your chest? Does the breath get short? Is it in your stomach? Back? Where is it? Get into it. Is it bumpy? Is it fuzzy? Is it heavy? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it light? Is it have a color? What is it? Like, get in touch with the body, right? Take the story off. Take the story off that it's from this person or this thing that happened, and just feel the thing in the body, because what's happening in the body is your nervous system learned a response a long time ago. When you feel this way, do this. And then over the years, it began to generalize that response. Oh, Well, I feel this way in this situation, do it. Feel this way in this situation, do it. And so all of a sudden, this thing that happened in childhood now becomes a lifetime pattern. So observation first, I can see the pattern. I'm not being run by the pattern, I'm observing it. Second, to feel it, to get in touch with the feeling tone of it, get in touch with what's underneath it. Is it shame? Is it fear? Is it, rejection, fear of rejection? And in this feeling part, you might ask the question, what is this feeling or what is this pattern protecting? And then the third is to ask. In the asking part, we get into relationship with the pattern. What are you protecting me from? What do you need for me to understand? What are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to show me? What do you need from me right now? What does this part need from me? You start to get into a relationship with this part. Ask, what do you need? What are you trying to tell me? What are you protecting me from? And the fourth part is to heal. And the healing part is love expressed as action. It might be an honest conversation. It might be a boundary. It might be rest. It might be a hand on your heart and saying, I'm here, I'm okay, I'm safe. It might be getting a glass of water. It might be going outside and just stepping outside or putting your feet on the ground. A loving action. The question here is, what's one loving action that would bring me back into wholeness, that would bring me back, that would help me relax just 5%, that would help me just soften just a little? So observe, feel, think, heal. When you notice a pattern, observe the pattern. Allow yourself to feel it. Get curious about what's underneath. Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it fear? Is it lack? Is it worry? Is it anxiety? Ask it. What are you protecting me from? What do you need me to know? What are you trying to tell me? And then heal. One loving action that will help you relax, soften 5%, open just a little. Take an action towards that. Maybe it is setting a boundary. Maybe it is having a conversation. Maybe it's just having a glass of water and pausing. One action. Observe, feel, think, heal. So that's a real-time thing that you can do that will help you when the pattern shows up. You do not need to figure out the origin of the pattern. You can do that. We do that at Rythmia, right? You come, have ayahuasca. I do that in one-on-one therapy sessions. That's important work. But real time, when you're in the moment and a pattern comes up and your kid's saying something and you notice you're starting to react in a way, or somebody at work, you're having an interaction, or a loved one, you can pause. You can observe, feel it, ask it what's trying to protect. Take one loving action to help you relax, soften, or bring you back into wholeness. So that's the first part. Last part of the talk is I want to share with you that another thing that really came up this week was about how we can create, what it is to be a creator in our lives, to be the creator of our lives, to be at cause, to be an agent in our lives, to create the life that we want. Well, so as we're releasing these patterns, when we stop fighting ourselves and we open up a little bit, we receive more energy, we receive more insights, downloads. Energy returns, we become available to create. And so much of creating the life that we desire, the life that we want, is not about forcing reality to change. It's about becoming available to what's seeking to emerge through us. If my energy is tied up in self-criticism and shame and avoidance and blame and inner conflict, I have less energy available for my dreams, And when I include the pattern instead of exile it, when I listen to that part that's trying to get my attention and take one loving action, my energy begins to organize about what I'm here to create. So I want you to ask yourself, what's one dream? One dream that's asking for your focus right now. And what's one loving act of order that you can take today to support that dream. One dream that wants your attention, one dream that wants a little bit more love, a little bit more something right now. What's one dream that you have? And what's one loving act of order that you can do right now, today, towards that dream? Just a small one, just a baby step. You could send that email, clear the desk, have a conversation, move your body, tell the truth, choose the next step. What's one loving act that you can take? So today, instead of asking what's wrong with me, we're asking what part of me is asking to be loved back into wholeness. Because the pattern is not proof that you're broken. It's a place where that helped you survive. The pattern is a place where love is trying to enter. It's a doorway. So just to send a blessing out to you that we find that loving tone within ourselves. That each of us finds a way back to love ourselves just as we are. Because self-love is the healing balm to all conflict. So my prayer today is for self-love, and I'm sending you much love. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you.